Pleats are a great design detail. They add volume in a controlled way so you can create fullness without the puffiness of gathers. You can add a pleated skirt to any garment that has a waist seam line. It's an easy pattern alteration that enables you to update a favorite design for a new look. In the January 2016 issue of Threads, number 182, author Linda Baker shares her formulas for calculating the size and spacing of pleats and the amount of fabric needed to create a pleated panel. The math is simple, and you can make either knife or box or inverted box pleats. Follow Linda's explanation in the article to make a pleating template on a strip of paper or lightweight cardboard. It's helpful to use different colored marks to distinguish the various pleat fold lines. I've included arrows indicating how the pleats are to be folded. This template is for making knife pleats. The left end includes a widened seam allowance, which allows for fine-tuning the pleats and seaming the panel when the pleats have been folded. It also has marks indicating all the fold lines for the first pleat. The subsequent marks are for the rest of the pleats. I've marked the pleats on the fabric by inserting pins at the markings. I used pins with different colored heads to indicate the X's and Y's. To pleat the fabric, follow the template's arrows. In this case, I fold the yellow pins to the white pins and anchor with a crosswise pin to secure. Continue pleating to the end of the fabric, keeping the pleats parallel as you go. There should be a wide seam allowance left at the end. When all the fabric has been folded, baste within the seam allowance to secure, and then remove the pins. Box pleats consist of 6 equal sections and have 2 knife pleats that meet at a center point. There's a generous seam allowance at the start of the template here, as for the knife pleats. Mark the pleat fold lines with pins following the template. Again, I've used different colored pins. Yellow for the center of each pleat, green for the inner fold lines, and white for the outer fold lines that meet at the center. Form the pleats by bringing the white pins to the yellow center pins and anchoring with a crosswise pin. Continue pleating the fabric, smoothing the pleats and keeping their folds parallel. You should have a wide seam allowance when you reach the end. Baste within the seam allowance to secure and remove the pins. This is how the work looks on the other side. You can see how easy it is to use a template to make perfectly even knife pleats and box pleats. With this technique, you can add a pleated skirt to any dress pattern that has a waist seam line, or simply make a pleated skirt.